Welcome to Kotler's Reef. My tank has finally made it through its 10-month anniversary, and I wanted to cover how it's been holding up, what problems I have encountered, the equipment I use, and how it's been holding up to the time. So, starting with livestock. I'm finally fully stocked with the fish that I wanted, which covers, of course, the hippo tank, Bangay Cardinal, 3 of those. I have my Coltang, black wrasse. There is also a few shrimp, part of my cleanup crew, and a purple tang. So I currently have 3 tangs living in the tank, and so far so good. I haven't had any issues with that whatsoever. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I first put him in, the cold tang and the purple tang went to town. They fought for about a day or so, and after that, they've been pretty cool with each other. So, looking at the rest of the corals, I've added quite a few since my last update. So far, everything is doing good, for the exception of the flower pots. I moved the one over there because they stopped opening, but from what I understand, these things have a very low survival rate in captivity. So going down to my sump. I've changed my ATO. I had ice cap ATO, and I recently upgraded to the Apex ATK. The only reason why I really did that was because I got an Apex. Otherwise, the ice cap ATO was more than fine. In my future videos, I'm gonna do a comparison as to the ice cap versus the Apex ATO, but that's later to come. So going to my skimmer. It is the Ice Cap K200 skimmer, which works absolutely amazing. You can tell I have a little bit of skim made. This is less than 24 hours worth of collection. I've added a refugium, and one of my previous videos has a little bit more detail about it. I'm currently using a Kessel H80 as a grow light. The Chaeto grows pretty well. The refugium is not too big, so I essentially converted the old ATO, which there's plenty of videos on how to do that. To give everybody a realistic expectation, the type of benefit that I'm getting from my refugium, it's about a 0.1 reduction in my pH swings, a 0.4 reduction in my phosphate, and a 0.5 reduction in my nitrate. It's not too big, but again, this is a very small refugium, so you have to have realistic expectations. I'm also using a Reef Octopus B300 reactor. To be honest with you, not a fan. I mean, a reactor's a reactor, but this one particularly is a little bit of a pain in the ass. To change the water flow, I have to go stick my hand in the water and use that little knob, which is very annoying. It's very messy to clean up. These tubes right here are pretty ugly, and this was probably not the best purchase that I've made. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong, but definitely not the best design. As far as the skimmer, I've had no issues with it whatsoever. I did add a CO2 scrubber because my pH was too low, and ever since I did that, it's like the skimmer went into overdrive. I'm collecting maybe 3 or 4 times the skim made that I was before. So going back to my Jabo pump, I've had this thing run dry for about 3 or 4 days when I went on vacation, and my ATO failed. As you can see, this thing works still, no issues whatsoever. Now, you may notice that my sump level is a little bit low, and the reason for that is my Apex ATK, one of the sensors on it is broken, and it doesn't always turn on when it's supposed to. Now in their defense, they sent me a replacement. I'm going to be replacing that in a few days, but until then, just working it manually. I have completely taken offline my UV light because at this point there's no reason for it. And that is it for the sun. Oh, one more thing. In the refugium, I have, besides Chaeto, I also have a Marine Pure block. I don't know if you can see that, but there's definitely Marine Pure block in there. Going to my other compartment, I have my Apex setup mounted to a board, and lastly the algae scrubber. So for this thing, I would take a look at my other videos to see how the algae scrubber works, and later on I'm going to be coming up with some videos as to how I have my Apex set up. For now, that's all, and I'm going to be coming out with a part 2 video covering the issues that I've had with the tank, the equipment that I have installed in it, the lights, the setup, and everything else. So stay tuned for that. If you like the content that I provide, please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Have a good day.